Hello and welcome back to Hervey Bay. So hopefully we're up and running. If there's anyone in the chat, just let me know. I'm going to come out in front, but let me go back into the wide angle. Have a look at that. So I don't want to step in my scene. G'day Ultimate, how are you? Welcome. Welcome back out to my trees. So we'll just go and check the audio out the front first. I don't want to step into my scene too much. Hello. Back out at the trees. It's been a while, and from memory, last time we came out it was very cloudy. There's a fish just swimming around down there. It was very cloudy. Today when I first came out it was looking perfect, and then the cloud has just all disappeared. What are you doing, fish? But I'm hopeful. There's a big rainbow behind us, there's cloud coming, so I am hopeful that once we get closer to sunset we might get a bit of an epic sky. But look at it, look at that. All the reflections in the sand. Yeah, let me come and check and see if everything's working, and then I'll talk through what I'm about to do. G'day Pete, looks and sounds good, thank you. Diane, hello. Leslie, hello. Hello, welcome back out to my trees. Audio good? Okay, good. How is everyone on this Monday night? I'm good. I am. Look where I am. Good reflection today, absolutely. It was sort of, I'm on one of those really low tides. So all of this down here is out of the water. Once the tide gets higher, that will turn into a straight reflection. And this is what I wanted. I wanted all of this foreground to catch that sunlight. So yeah, it's one of those scenes. And another reason I've come here, the sun is directly behind this tree. So it's you know, there's a week of a window or two where I can get that sun directly behind the tree. So we're going to go for a starburst. And that was the main reason I got here. I just want it. I want that sun right behind the tree. So give it another couple of weeks and that sun will move further south. G'day Kath, how are you? Hello everyone, sound and view great. Good. How good is this view? I'll have to bring you out here one day. I'll bring the dog as well. It's really nice. It's a long, I literally got here and turned on the stream. It's a good 45-minute walk. It's a good 45-minute walk, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Have a look at it. All right. G'day Birdman, welcome. So the title of the stream, let me quickly explain that. The award-winning shot. Now I have a plan. I was thinking on my way here, it really hurt to think, but it was kind of, you know, I was putting some of those brain cells to work. And what I was thinking of doing was, I might actually enter a competition. I've put a couple of limits on myself. The first limit will be that it has to be captured on a live stream. Okay, so I'm going to enter some photos into probably the Pano Awards, because I think the Pano Awards are kind of they're one of the ones that are up there. And I've got a few rules. Rule number one, it has to be caught on a live stream. For me to send off a photo, it has to be caught on live stream. And it has to be in Hervey Bay. So I'm not going to travel to New Zealand. I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to travel to New Zealand and cheat. I'm not going to go over to Patagonia or Africa or anywhere like that. Okay, so no cheating involved. It has to be here in Hervey Bay. And it has to be on a live stream. So what I'm going to do is every time I do a live stream, I'm going to pick through my best photos. Once I've got one that I'm happy with, I'll move on to a different location. Okay, so that is the goal, and I think I will enter the Pano Awards. I think I'll do it in the Pano Awards. So they're going to be panoramas. And this spot, you know, what a way to open the account with this. All right. And it, you know, it just might make the live streams a bit more exciting if we actually have a goal. So our goal will be to capture some award-winning images. How hard is it? How hard is it to capture an award-winning image? You've got to rely on the sky, okay? Weather is a big part of it. Location is number one. And personally, I think this location it has potential. And it's just a matter of waiting for that sky to do the right thing. Now, I don't know if we will get it today. The way I'm picturing this is having that side light, having the sun straight behind the tree. Yeah, don't know about that. I do want side light, but yeah, I just thought it'd be something different, something a little bit more interesting than just live streams, to actually have a goal. Yeah, have a look at that on the back of the camera. Like, seriously, I think I've just won the award right here, right now. How good does that look? All right, let me get my camera out. Stop talking crap. So yes, that's going to be a bit of a goal, I think. Let's enter some competitions, only using images from a live stream, just to see, you know, can we get the light we want during a live stream? Is it possible? Is it possible to just, oh, look at that, that sun is right where I want it. Okay, so because the sun's where I want it, I want to get this starburst. I really do. Let me get down to, yeah, some of those shots I got at 1770. I was shooting at f16 to f18 quite a bit. And yeah, this lens, f14 is kind of the limit with this lens. Once it gets beyond f14, it does just soften a little. It does get a little bit of diffraction. Just softens a little bit. So I don't really want to go down too low. Oh, those glasses, they're going to get destroyed in there. Let me just quickly move them. If they weren't broken, I'd sit them on top of my head. Let's just hang them up for a second. But yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed the stream. I love this location. Like, have a look at it. Have a look at that location. And you know, like, I do have some shots here where the sky was really epic, but I don't know. I think simple is better than over too much. There is such a thing as too much colour, and I think that's what I had last time. I had too much colour. So let me just frame something up quickly. I'm just gonna working on that starburst for starters. I did bring the wide angle. And wow, look at that already. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to do a pano, but all I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 panos in portrait. 2 panos in landscape. So I'm going to do one there, and that's it. So it's going to be that way and that way. They're going to be my panos for this scene anyway. I could do it all in one shot. I can hear all of those birds. Let me quickly show you. I just got distracted. Don't know how well you'll see them. All those birds just flew over. Now there's that rainbow in the background. That's coming towards me. I'm easily distracted. You'll notice that. Anyone who's new to the live stream, get used to me getting easily distracted. Have a look at that. Wow, ultimate. Be great to see you enter some comps. I hope you do well. I've just started entering some too. I like that it makes you look more at your own images. Yeah, and that's it. That's yours. Love your photos, ultimate, and that's good. And that's kind of why I want to start entering some, because then you do look at your images differently. Okay, you start to, you don't get lazy, which is, you know, sometimes I do that. I just get lazy and take photos. But now I'm actually thinking about things a bit more, like, what is an award-winning image? What actually makes an award-winning image? So, I'm just zooming in. Slow down, breathe, manual focus. I'm just going to focus on the tree. I am at f14. I've zoomed in on that tree. I'm shooting at 40 mil. I'm all the way in at 40 mil. Just going to zoom. I just want that tree sharp for starters. Wind is quite windy. Histogram, I don't care too much about my histogram. I'm shooting directly into the sun. We want a starburst, so we are going to blow it out a little bit. Let's get the first shot. 2-second timer. See if we got the starburst in there. Not really, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to take another shot anyway. So there's my first pano. So the trick with a pano, give yourself plenty of room, okay? Because by the time, there they go again. Wow. don't know if the mic's picking them up, but you can hear them coming through. It sounds awesome. God, this is, oh, look at that. Wow, 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 it's all happening. I just looked up at the sky. Welcome. Welcome. All right, I'm going to give it even more room. So we'll just do another one over here. I don't really have the starburst at the moment. It's not exactly where I want it at the moment. So let's just do one slap bang in the middle. So yeah, it's quite windy, so I am working at a fast shutter speed at the moment. Just because it's so windy, I really want to freeze those leaves. You know, that's something that will get picked up on in a comp. If you've got movement in your leaves, especially when it's unintentional. Okay, if it's intentional water movement or intentional, and really slow it down. But yeah, this scene here, let's have a quick look. Did I even get a starburst? Not really. It's very hard to line it up. Let me, if I just go across a little bit further to around about there. I will come and check the chat in a minute. I really want this starburst shot. So I'm just trying to line everything up for starters. And it's looking good. Have a look at it. Have a look at it. How good is this place? I'll get one in the middle. Get one in the middle. It's going to be hard to stitch all three together with the wind moving so much. So I'm basically getting that side of the trees in the middle and then that side. And yes, I could do it all in one shot and crop it. But, and you know, we may end up doing that. I'm going to tell you exactly what we do. If we do use one image and crop it, I will let you know. We're experimenting, we're playing, we're learning. I'm going to put the horizon slap bang in the middle because, have a look at it. Okay, we're going to break the rules. See if the judges like this with our horizon in the middle. See, the reason I like my horizon in the middle, I've got plenty in the foreground, I've got plenty in the sky. I don't want to prioritise one or the other. I want both. Have a look at that colour. Wow. Wow. All right, let's do a proper pano now. Let's actually do a proper pano. Okay, so I'm at, where am I at? 35 mil. I will come and check the chat in a minute. I just want to get this shot while the light's like this. Wow. Make sure my tripod's nice and level. Pretty close. Wow. So now I'm going to do a portrait pano. I don't like stitching too many photos together. It's just too much work, basically. It's a lot of work stitching lots of photos together. If I can get it all in one shot, that would be nice. And I will do that soon. Just straighten my horizon a little. If you talk quietly, it means you're concentrating more. Have a look at it. Oh man. This is a good way to kick off my little challenge. Now the sun's nice and diffused. We're right on sunset. You know what? I'm going to do another pano. Just by looking at my histogram, everything, oh, it's just perfectly exposed. It really is perfectly exposed. I'm going to go down to F13. Not too concerned about the starburst now. So the starburst can be a little bit gimmicky. Let's get it right in the middle. Again, half sky, half foreground. Still got colour in the sky, so let me just fire off these while I've got colour. We could lose that colour very quickly. Welcome to Harvey Bay. If anyone's new in here, welcome. Welcome. Welcome to this epic location. Yeah, it's going to be hard stitching them together with that wind. It really is. So I'll do a few single shots soon. I'm dreading stitching photos together And you've got to work quickly because the longer... I probably should even have it off my timer to tell the truth. Movement in the cloud isn't going to be doing me any favours. Let's try a couple of single shots before we completely lose that sky. Look at that, that's nice. What's the sky doing? The sky's looking pretty good. All right, I'm just going to shoot slap bang in the middle. Got those trees filling my frame. Manually focus on the trees. F13, 1/80th of a second. Wow, we've got more cloud rolling in. Yeah, we've got epicness happening. We do, it's happening. I did bring the GoPro too to maybe do a time lapse. All right, let me come and check. I've got some nice shots. I don't like what the cloud's doing at the moment. Let me see. What did I miss while I was talking to myself? Good luck, Ultimate. Yeah, good luck, Ultimate, with your competitions. You're doing really well. Love your photos. Look, I'd never see a bad photo from you. Would still like to try and get some photos of Ripley. Yeah, definitely. Movement in the leaves is the worst enemy. Absolutely. Especially when it's windy. So that's, yeah, we might have to do the single shot for this one. Looking beautiful, it is. Yep. G'day, Linda, how are you? Welcome, Linda. Love the cloud reflection on the sand. Yeah, me too. Like with these really low tides, the sand pops out just enough to get that reflection. And I got it. Why a portrait pano versus a landscape? Just bigger file size, really. It's just by doing it in portrait mode, and then I can crop it as well. So by doing it in portrait mode, let me show you the back of the camera. Then I can kind of choose okay, so there's just a single shot, which looks bloody amazing. And with the portrait ones, what I can do is, because I'm just taking in more of the scene, so then I can either choose to crop it at the bottom and have sky, or I can crop the sky to have more foreground. So it just sort of gives me a bit more foreground, a bit more sky to choose which one I want. And big file size. Okay, so by the time I stitch all of these photos together, you're looking at, 50 to 60 megapixel image, as opposed to, 2 or 3 of these that way. But look at that, how good does that look? See, and there's another single image, which, look, that's actually the first shot of the day. Sometimes the first shot of the day is always a winner. Or was it? Oh no, the first shots were back here. There's the first shot. So it was just a 2-shot pano, and then I think I did a 3-shot pano, and then another 3-shot, and then a single. And this is that time we start to lose colour. So now I can come back and chat. So yes, welcome. No filters today, no Diane, no filters. I only use filters if I want movement. Okay, so if I want some sort of movement, or if I want to cut off the glare, I was almost thinking of the polarized filter to cut the glare off there, but I just don't like Polaroid filters on a wide angle. Not a fan of Polaroids on a wide angle. They do some really funky stuff. Well, mine do. Mine's an old one. I don't know what the newer ones are like, whether they've gotten better over the years. But yeah, my polarizer, it's an old Hoya. It was good back in the day, but and ND filters, yeah, I only use ND filters when I want movement. And in this case, I want those trees to be nice and still. That would be awesome, Ultimate. Yeah, finding the time is the most challenging part, absolutely. I almost brought her with me tonight. I thought, should I? But I need to go out without the camera gear first, because I know as soon as she gets excited, she'll jump up on me. That's a good point, Neil. So the point with the portrait mode, yeah, the portrait mode, just, yeah, it gives you more room to crop as well, because when you stitch your panos together, doing a 3-shot pano is not too bad. But yeah, if you want to sort of take in the whole scene, just having it done in portrait mode gives you a little bit more cropping room when you stitch them together, and bigger file size. Are you still using your old camera or have you upgraded? Still using the old one. I haven't upgraded yet. Not yet. And look, you know, to be honest, I look at the photos that come out of this, and I'm not going to get better photos with a newer camera. It's not going to happen, okay? A newer camera isn't going to get me better photos. It's just going to make life easier. Having that flippy screen for starters will make life a lot easier. For wildlife, yes, definitely. The eye tracking and the subject tracking will make it easier. But I still use my 7D for wildlife, and the 7D tracks well. I did some photos in the backyard the other day just with the rainbow lorikeets. And look, I can't complain. The 7D, it served me well all through my sports career when I was doing all the sports photos. It very rarely missed, okay? It very rarely missed. Where, yeah, getting a new camera, I have to relearn how the autofocus works. Hear a few horror stories about some of the new, like even some of the bird photographers, you know, taking 40 frames a second just to get one shot. I'm like, oh God, I don't want to be doing 40 frames a second. I was watching one guy, Jan Wagner, and he spent 2 weeks on a holiday and took, I think it was 40,000 photos in 2 weeks. I don't take 40,000 photos in 5 years. I don't want to be taking 40 frames a second. That scares me. I'll probably dumb down my new camera and take maybe 6 or 8 frames a second. But yeah, still got the old camera. It's it does the job. That's what it does. It does the job. So hang around for Blue Hour. I'm definitely hanging around for Blue Hour. We've got like this sort of cloud here is almost perfect for Blue Hour. That cloud over there, this kind of high light cloud, it's the exact sort of cloud that I want for Blue Hour. So we will get more oranges and blues and purples, and if it stays there. Oh, there's the moon up there too. I can see the moon. Yes, and I will be doing some more astrophotography very soon. We've still got a few more days before the moon gets down too late. So I think Thursday night it starts to set around about 10 o'clock Thursday night. So if this cloud clears tomorrow night, I might head out. Pete, 40,000 photos would crash my computer. Me too. It'd crash my brain. I wouldn't be able to cope with looking at 40 photos a second and trying to pick one that I liked. Linda, hang on, it's scrolling, it's moving. Do you know much about the horizontal and vertical mount plates? I was looking at an L bracket, however, it interferes with the flippy screen. Oh no, I didn't think of that. I have an L bracket and I absolutely love it. The L bracket is the best thing that I have bought in a long time. So yes, I do have the L bracket. That way I can just switch between portrait, just literally click it on that way, tie it down, or just flip it that way. Now, as for the flippy screen, that's a good point. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. I know what you can do. That's a good question. Something that I will eventually find out. Let me zoom in a bit so I can sort of show you. Excuse the zip. So what you can do is, and this is what I do when I use my trigger, I unscrew it a little bit and sort of push it off to the side. Okay, so then it sort of hangs out. So I don't know whether that will help with your flippy screen, and you can even turn it around so then the flippy screen can come out. So yes, I don't have a flippy screen, so I'm not 100% sure, but yes, you can move these brackets around a fair bit. Like I said, when I use the trigger, I do put it out here so I can get my trigger in. I'm guessing that you'd still be able to get your flippy screen out if you sort of moved it to the side, if that makes sense. So yeah, if anyone does have a flippy screen and an L bracket, let both Linda and I know. because I love this L bracket. Is one of the best things I've bought in a long time. Ultimate has a flippy screen, but do you have an L bracket? The flippy screen makes it worth it for the old back. I find eye tracking is very picky, and you have to turn it off 50% of the time. Yeah, see, that's what I've heard too about the eye tracking. The 7D, the 7D's simple, but geez, it's good. The 7D, like I said, I can't complain about the autofocus on my 7D. I don't do wildlife with the 6D, but even like when I do portraits with the 6D, it locks on fine. It doesn't have eye tracking or anything like that. It's just old school. You put your focus point on an eye, and you focus on the eye. But with moving animals, that's where I do go to the 7D, and I just lock onto the body, basically. We'll test it out with Ripley one day. Yeah, the eye track, especially with the fast-moving dogs, any sort of fast-moving, there's no way that the tracking can kind of keep up, if you know what I mean. Like it's, you know, the way I see it, it's like, especially with the 7D, it's essentially locking onto the nose, and then by the time you press the shutter, the animal's moved that far that it's then gone into the frame and lined up with the eye. So that's how I think the 7D works. It's focusing on the nose, and then that split second is then catching up to the eye. But yeah, look, things to test out when I eventually upgrade, because I am looking at the R6 Mark II. Unless they announce the R6 Mark III very soon, I will probably get the R6 Mark II. It's a good all-round camera. It's all I need. I'd love to get an R5, but the price of the R5, I'll get an R6 and a new lens with a bit of luck. Linda, I have bought the Sunway Photo L brackets for my last 3 cameras, and I like them. Good. Okay. Do you have the flippy screen, Diane? Do you have the articulated screen on your L brackets, and does it work okay? I'm pretty sure you did. I'm sure I definitely had the flippy screen. Hi all. G'day, John. How are you? Welcome, John. Who's going to be? Hang on, my chat's moving again. Stop moving, chat. Hi all. Who's going to try capture the blood moon on the 8th of September? Yeah, look, we might give it a crack. We might give the blood moon a crack. Again. John caught my interest. Yes, the blood moon, 8th of September. It's not far away, is it? Ultimate, I want the R6 and the 24 to 72.8. Not greedy, no, not at all. Not greedy at all. But yeah, the R6. Look, if you can afford an R5, get one. If you can afford an R5, get one. But I think the R6 is more than enough. More than enough. You know, let's be real. How many of us are going to be blowing up our images to 5 meters plus? Do you really need those extra megapixels? And that's all it is. That's the main difference with the R5 is the megapixels. No, I don't. Doesn't flip always. Oh, okay, yeah. You've got the Nikons only flip straight out, don't they? They sort of they flip upwards. They're not like the Canon ones that go blip 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 and flip everywhere with those exact sound effects. Yeah, the Nikon ones are much easier. They just flip up and down. I can hear rainbow bee eaters everywhere behind me. Might be time to get my glasses out. Yeah, stay tuned for some. I've got a wildlife session tomorrow. I do, and I'm very excited. And yes, Pete, I will definitely be in touch with you, Pete. I've got a bit of a sick daughter at the moment, so hopefully she's all right for tomorrow. And then Thursday, yeah, I've got a wildlife session, a bird session tomorrow. So, you know, I'll be able to tell you whether there's a lot of bee eaters around. I've seen a few. Not like the numbers we had last year was insane. Last year was really good. This year, yeah, not quite as many from what I've seen in my normal spots. I thought about John. I thought about going, not sure yet. Is that the blood moon? Yeah, look. We might, let me have a look. Yeah, 8th of September, I'll have to have a bit of a look. What day is it on? What day is the 8th of September? If it's a weekend, we might do a meet-up. We might all go and get it. I'll have a look where it's coming up. We got it not long ago. Was that the blood moon or the blue moon or the sailor moon or there's so many moons. I've got lots of moons. I think I've got about 6 or 7 blood moons, but they're always fun. Finding a foreground is always the fun part with moons. Just a moon in the sky on its own isn't the most exciting thing, but you know, get it coming up over the pier. It's always a good shot. I got a couple there last year that came up over the pier. Once it got through the fog and the haze. Starting to get a little bit of colour now, so I'm just going to check what we've got going on here. Oh God, was I shooting at ISO 400 for all of them? I was. What an idiot. I was too. I had my ISO at 400. Oh, I'm not too fussed. 400 on this is fine. Now, blue hour. What are we going to do? I like that side light that's going on over there. I'll wait a bit longer. It's not very exciting at the moment. Let me just zoom in and have a look. Yeah, no, I don't like that colour. It's not proper colour yet. Alright, let's wait a bit longer. Not enough colour for me. I do like what's happening out that way. And then yeah, later in the year, once we sort of get around Christmas time, the sun will set over there, and that's when I think I'll get my shot. I think that's when I'm going to get the shot that I really want. When I've got side light, I want the trees lit up by side light, and then get that sort of blues and pinks over to the side. But you know, you don't know until you get it, and then that's the thing with those shots. You don't know until you get it. Where are we up to? Monday. Okay, so it's on a Monday. Put in for Monday off as it's on a Monday morning. Oh, is it like a moon rise? I saw some bee eaters right of the Gattaca's Bay boat ramp a few days ago. Yeah, that's my usual spot, just sort of down at the Gattaca's Bay boat ramp, just to the right, just out on that point. That was where last year there was, I think there's one photo that I've got where I think there was 6 or 7 in one shot. There was heaps of them there. But I was out there, when was I out there last? I did a live stream out there not long ago. And yeah, I didn't see many. Actually, no, it wasn't. It was another one-on-one. I was doing a one-on-one out there. With a bird photographer, and I was telling her that they're normally there and we didn't see them. I did see a kingfisher on my way here. There's lots. Let me just show you around quickly while we're waiting for Blue Hour to do things. Let me quickly show you around. What time, Linda? I'd like to get some pics of them. Yeah, definitely. So Leslie knows where they are. We went out there last year. So yeah, just to the right of the boat ramp. Just be careful on a high tide, Leslie. If it's a high tide, you probably won't get across. You will have to walk through water because the water comes right up the boat ramp, and there's like a little gap where, yeah, you might get a little bit wet on a high tide. So try and time it that you're on a low tide. So yeah, 2:30. Yeah, high tide at the moment is around about midday. So either early or later. So I'll give you a quick pan around. So that's where I can hear all the bee eaters out behind me in those trees. On my way here, there was a kingfisher darting in and out of all of these trees. But it's a long walk to try and get birds out here. That's Point Vernon over there. So Eli Creek runs through there. So that's the way I normally come on a really low tide and step on stingrays. But the way I've come today is from Dundowran, which is over there somewhere. So yeah, this is the flats. This is the mud flat. So there's lots of little lone trees around. There's plenty around. But yeah, these ones just, yeah, I just like these. The fact that we've got all this water that runs through this part too, like even on the super low tide, there's still water here. It's not high and dry. So I do really like this spot. And yeah, we're starting to get a bit of colour up there now. So I might take some more shots. And yeah, just recently hit 4,000 subscribers. So thank you. Thank you everyone who has subscribed. 4,000 subscribers. That was very exciting. It was on a video that Kath and I looked at the thumbnail and we both just said, that's a pretty ordinary thumbnail. And I said, yeah, look, it's just a filler. I'm just going to put that thumbnail up until I can think of a good one. It was a video that I just thought wasn't going to do well, and it did. So thank you, YouTube, for pushing out one of my not so great videos. But yes, thank you to all the people that have subscribed and liked, and it's very exciting. It's very exciting. But more exciting is this. Taking photos is the more exciting part. Now the sky's, wow, look at, the phone is not doing it justice. Honestly, the back of this camera at the moment, it's purple and blue, and it looks amazing. Where are we at? We're down to 50%. Wow, look at that. That is really nice. That is really nice. Wow. Okay, so now I've got my ISO down to 100. And look, when you've got plenty of light, I did a video on ISO a while ago. As long as you've got plenty of light, ISO doesn't make a huge difference. It's when you've got dark shots, when you've got dark images, that's when you really notice your ISOs. And now I definitely want it down to 100. 100 at one second. Oh, those trees aren't going to be sharp. I might have to bump it up. Wow, look at that shot. Have a look at that. Yeah, I'm going to have to bump it up. I do want to freeze the movement in those leaves. We'll go back up to 400. What's that going to give me? See, that's still only half a second. All right, let's go up to 800. ISO 800. I just want to freeze the leaves. I don't want to be stitching photos. I want those leaves to be sharp. I don't want movement in them. And this is the thing. That's kind of why I decided to do this award-winning shot. So many things just have to be perfect for me anyway. I'm not going to submit a half-assed shot. I'm going to submit one. I want it to be perfect. Even if the judges don't like it, I want it to be perfect. Okay, I'm just going to do another quick pano. Just a quick pano. So I've exposed for the brightest part of my shot. So I've got my histogram set for the brightest part to be not clipping, and then I take my shot from different angles. So that's one thing. When you do a pano, always expose for the brightest part of your scene, because if you expose for over here, for example, get your histogram perfect over here, by the time you get to your brightest part, you're going to blow out your sky. So I'm exposing for the brightest part, and then I will do my sweep across the frame. Okay, now let's do another pano in nice and tight. So every time I zoom in, I am refocusing. And I'm manual focus. I am manual focus. Get that horizon. Get that horizon nice and straight. There's one. Yeah, see, I prefer more sky. It's one of those shots where it definitely looks better with more sky at the moment. Because up here is where all our blues and all our really nice colour is. But it's good to have options. It's good to have lots of options. Yeah, look, it just works better. I'm going to get the moon in the shot too. I'm going to go really wide. You know what? I might even get up closer. Let me get that shot there. and I'll show you. Let me get that shot there. The trees are too small. And when I go ultra wide, the trees just look too small. Now, let's see if the camera will pick up how awesome this looks. No, it doesn't. But, like on the back of the camera, it just looks so good. So I've got the moon up there. I've got lots. I love the foreground. I love the blue. I do like the wide angle. But then the trees get a bit too small for my liking. I do. Let me put this camera on wide angle as well. Like, look at that. That's... yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Now that I'm wide angle, I do want more of everything. And then my other problem is once I'm moving closer to that tree, it then starts to move into the other trees. So I can't get in too close to it, because then it starts to, see, even there, it's, because I've moved in closer, it's actually clipping those other trees. So it's got, you've got to sort of be back here to give it space to breathe. So that's not too bad there. How does that look on the back of the camera? Yeah, that looks nice. That looks nice. Let's brighten it all up a bit. Yeah, that looks good. All right, zoom in on those trees. We're at 1/3 of a second. We're going to get movement. Now we're getting too late, so let's do some deliberate movement this time. So now we're down to 2 seconds. The wind has almost died off. It's getting pretty still. Not completely still, but it's getting still. That's nice. Get another one. The trees are all over the place at the moment. I'm just going to wait for that tree to stop moving. Come on, tree, stop moving. That puddle's moving. Why is that puddle moving? Oh, there's a tide coming in. Yeah, you can actually see the tide coming in. Wow, have a look at it. There goes the birds again. Don't know if you can hear them. Yeah, I can actually see the tide coming in. I just heard a mud crab clapping behind me. That's really nice. It is. It's really nice. But yeah, the movement in the trees is killing the shot. All right. Let's go up to... I've done this before. I've shot at ISO 1600 here before, just to get a faster shutter speed. And I don't know. I don't know what the rules are with the Pano Awards, whether you can use the AI denoise. I think you can. I think you can use AI to denoise things. I do remember looking it up a while ago. Right, let's get in nice and tight now. Do another actual pano. That's nice. Yeah, ISO 1600 now. Do another pano. Looks really good. How good is this spot? Like, seriously. See, I'm looking at it now, I do want that side light, just so the trees are lit up a bit. At the moment, they are just silhouettes against the background. I would like some light in the trees. I want those trees actually catching the light. But look at the sky. And the moon. Wow. This is really, really good. All right, I'm going to do a selfie because it's too good not to. Where do I need to stand? Where's that puddle? That puddle's a long way out, but that'll do. Okay, 10-second timer. Stand in those puddles out there, and that'll be, no, just to the right of those puddles. Yep. Suck my guts in, puff my chest out. Look at that. Look at the colours. See, this is the sort of blue owl that I love. Just those leaves are just killing it for me. Yeah, look at that. All right. I might wind it up soon. I've got a long walk back. I've got the shots that I want. You know, there's still plenty of colour up there. Let me show you what I've got. Still plenty of colour up there, but I've sort of, yeah, I've got the shots that I want. There's the last shot for the night. Have a look at that. Without me in it, that's just awesome. But yeah, and then there's my pano. I love the foreground. That's just a wide angle. Yeah. All right, well, thank you everyone who popped in again. And thank you to everyone who got me up to 4,000 subscribers. That's very, very exciting for me. Not that look, it's not about subscribers, it's just about the small group that we have. Really appreciate the small groups that we get in these live streams. They get to watch things like this happen. And that's, you know, that's why I do it, just to show off Harvey Bay. Linda, low tide was at 2:30. Leslie, thanks, might venture out. Thank you, thank you, Neil, you keep us motivated. Thank you, yeah. On nights like this, I would rather you being out actually taking photos than being in here in the chat, but yeah, you just got to get out. There's been so many times where I've seen the sky and thought I'm not going to go, and then you regret it last minute. And it works both ways sometimes. You look at the sky and you think, looks amazing, go out and it does nothing. Diane, thank you, Neil. Now I need to go out and take some seascapes. I love your tips along the way, exposing for the brightest parts in the pano. Never thought of that. Yeah, and that's the thing, like, you know, you're going to hear me drop lots of little tips as we go. And I will be in touch, Diane. I went and checked out Bargara. So yeah, had a bit of a look around Bargara because I'm thinking when I come up to Bundy, we might do a couple of workshops. We might do a sunset and a sunrise workshop. So I was just sort of up there on our way back from 1770. We only stopped very quickly. Bargara was busy. Bargara was very busy on a Saturday. It was a perfect day. Linda, those clouds are reminding me of your Milky Way at 1770. Yeah, let's not talk about that Milky Way. Like, the photo was awesome, but I wanted the Milky Way. And that's as soon as I finish this stream, I'm going to have a look. I think the Milky Way here is more over this way. Like, I'd love to get these trees, but I think our Milky Way is going to be more over that way. But I'll get my little app out later, and if I can get the Milky Way over these trees, whew, I'm gonna have to live stream it though. Pete, appreciate the good spirit. Thanks, Pete. And yeah, I will be in touch. Let's plan for Thursday. Let's plan for Thursday for a catch up. But yeah, I'll be in touch. Diane, sounds good. Thank you. Yes. All right. Well, thanks again. Thanks to everyone who joined in. Yeah, I'm going to start heading back before it gets too dark because I still got to go to the shops. So thank you again. I really do appreciate people coming in and having a chat, just saying hello. And I'll do another live stream and invite people along soon. So stay tuned for that one. But until then, thank you all again. Really appreciate everyone being in here. And I will see you. He flew past low. I will see you all again very soon. Any astro nights coming up? Probably tomorrow night. Either tomorrow night or Thursday night. Just keeping my eye on this cloud. It is meant to be cloudy for the next 2 days and then start to clear up, hopefully tomorrow night, Leslie. So, yes. And we've got a high tide. High tide, sort of, yeah, I'll be in touch. All right, thanks again, and I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.